Kids Playground!
Hooray!
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Darren Harris, and this is the Darren Harris Show. Hey, what's happening? What's going on? What's good? What's goody? Hopefully your week was good. Hopefully you had a good week. I had a pretty good week myself. There was some crunchiness in the beginning of the week, but we so far we're doing pretty good. Towards the latter half of the week, everything's going a little bit better. So was having some issues last week with my family. Those issues are still here, so I'm going to be addressing these issues with my family sometime in the coming week. If you got problems with your family, folks, I would like to make a suggestion before you run out and just do some horrible shit that you'll probably regret later. If you're going to talk to some people in your family, especially like your elders, like I have to go have a conversation with my mother's sister. And I love my aunt. Now, don't get me wrong, but there's some things that are going on that she's allowing to happen. And I don't know if she's allowing it, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go have a conversation with her about these things. But so that I'm not unprepared and so that I don't say things that I will ultimately regret to her, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write out my thoughts. And I've done this before in several other forums. I got in trouble one time at my job and they thought they were going to come at me, and I came back at them with a huge letter and put them all in their places. And I'm not trying to put my aunt in her place, but one thing I do want to be is articulate, and I want to be eloquent, and I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret. After all, I love this woman. She's my mom's sister. So if anybody has any conflict or anything that they want to get off their chest, and this is not just for family, this is for anybody that you may have some conflict with, might I suggest that you sit down, you take a few minutes and take out your phone or a piece of paper or whatever you're going to take out and just write down what you want to say. Write it down. One thing my father told me that I use to this day, he said, if you ever want to get your point across and not be interrupted and you want people to listen fully to what you have to say, write a letter. Write a letter. And the reason why is because while you're reading a letter, it's very hard for somebody to cut you off or jump in where you are. And I know for me, if I get cut off, I get real excited and I lose my place, and then all of a sudden the argument is fucked. So in order to stop myself from getting ahead of myself, or like I said, saying something that I just don't really mean or want to say, I write it down. And a lot of times, as you write it down, you can come up with points. You can make points that are so spot on because you actually had time to sit and think about it, as opposed to just running in the room with both guns blazing and, getting shot up in the process. So definitely, if you're going to do something like this, write it down. Write it down. Write it down. You will definitely thank me for this. So, all right, folks, today I'm talking about something that has been on my mind for quite a while. And it's been on a lot of other people's minds. It's been on some minds of some people that I've spoken to. And I did an episode that kind of touched on this subject a little bit, but I'm going to dig into it a little bit more. And the subject is the impending AI singularity. What the hell is that, D? Well, the AI singularity is the point in time when AI, the intelligence of AI, surpasses that of human beings. Did you hear me? That's when the intelligence of artificial intelligence becomes more intelligent than human intelligence. And if that happens, folks, well, some people seem to think we have a problem. And some people seem to think that we don't. I'm on the fence, personally, because I see some definite benefits to artificial intelligence. But I see the Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I see the Matrix. I see all these dystopian doomsday scenarios inching ever closer. And the shit is scary. The shit is scary. I mean, there's some people who were on the forefront of developing AI currently that were saying that we need to pump the brakes. I think it was Elon Musk, really, who said we need to pump the brakes on artificial intelligence. And humankind, I gotta tell you, man, as humans, we be feeling ourselves a lot. I mean, we feel ourselves a lot. Sometimes we feel ourselves so much that we put the rest of us in harm's way. Like, everybody's so enthralled that they can make a machine do all the things that a human can do. They're so enthralled that they can make machines that can tend bar and serve food and do it. But what that's do, I mean, it hurts humanity. It hurts humanity. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen when you put something in place of a person that's not a person? You assign this artificial intelligence everything that was assigned to this person, like a job. That's a very big issue with artificial intelligence. Is it going to take our jobs? Well, I read a statistic someplace that said by the year 2025, a good 80% of jobs will be held by artificial intelligence. Not to say that humans won't be in those jobs as well, but saying that artificial intelligence will also be in those industries. You will also have artificial intelligent workers in those industries. You've already seen it in the restaurant industry. There's already artificial intelligence in the restaurant industry. There's people, well, not people, there's things out there bringing you your food. It's just a matter of time before there's a robot back there flipping your burgers. And they'll probably make it perfectly. And the reason why is because it can be trained and taught as a machine to make this burger exactly like this every single time. And it won't deviate. It won't talk back. It will execute it as quickly as it can. You don't have to pay it. There's a lot. But what does that mean for the person that was back there cooking your food before? That means that person could possibly be out of a job. That whole industry, especially if it's successful, wow. The more affordable you make it, the more conducive or the more it makes sense to have it, right? Especially if you own a business and you're in the business of making a profit. You're all bogged down with all these pesky employees that you got to pay. When you could take probably 1 year salary from every person that you employ and spend that on artificial intelligence integration into your business, and voila, you've just cost a bunch of people their jobs and livelihood. So you can make a couple of dollars, so you can live comfortably. Never mind the people who busted their asses and broke their backs to get you where you are. You see, folks, for every rich CEO out there, there is a bunch of people underneath that make that happen for that person. And the sad part is a lot of people don't even spend time developing these businesses. Ironically enough, a lot of people now are prompting artificial intelligence to give them ideas for businesses and also to give them formulas to run said business. Artificial intelligence is definitely a tool. It is a definite tool. But it's going to get smarter than us, folks. And it's not if it will, it's when it will. It's going to get smarter than all of us combined. That, my friends, is the singularity. So, when does this singularity take place? When is this supposed to happen? I was reading an article that said it's supposed to be like 2045, but I read another article that says it could be as soon as 2031. 2031 is a possibility, especially at the way that technology is moving today. I mean, it's cooking right along. It is cooking right along, and nobody's even checking to see if we're doing okay, if it's going to be all right for us. Are we going to be okay if we continue to develop this technology? People clock into work every day. They sit down at their computers and they build these algorithms without even taking their own safety into account. They just show up for the paycheck because the money's good. But what happens when this artificial intelligence creates something to create these algorithms, and all of a sudden you're no longer needed? It's a very real possibility, folks. It is very real. So that's why we need to sit down and determine for ourselves, individually, what in the hell are we going to do? What are we going to do when the singularity hits? What's going to be happening? What's the world going to look like? Where are we going to go? Is the sky going to fall? Am I still going to be able to get on the internet? What's going to happen? Because trust me, something is going to happen. Something is going to happen. Some of us may love it. A lot of us, I think, really we're going to hate it. Because we don't understand it. And we don't understand. A lot of us already, like I said, a lot of us don't understand it. And it's moving so quickly that a lot of us will never understand it. And that's going to hurt us. So what is the singularity exactly? What is it, Darren? What is the AI singularity? Well, in a nutshell, it's algorithmic intelligence. That's really all it is. It's this how smart this algorithm is able to get. It's the building of this intelligence within itself. The AI singularity at its core is really an advanced manifestation of algorithmic intelligence. It actually leverages intricate algorithms and machine learning models, surpassing traditional AI systems by seamlessly adapting evolving patterns and complexities in data. That is what it is. Its design encapsulates a sophisticated network of neural architects, enabling it to discern and generate contextually relevant responses through conscious learning. Okay, so that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a smart algorithm that's going to soon be smarter than we are. Artificial intelligence, robots, computers. That's where we're headed with this. The artificial intelligence is going to begin to build computers and begin to build robots that will carry us, humankind, into the future. We hope. Or we hope, actually, that AI will take us with it into the future. Because once it's kind of like a can of worms, man. Once you open that can, you're going to be hard-pressed to get everything back contained. It's not. It's just not. It's going to be like the internet. Everybody thought the internet, you could, and it just wilded the fuck out. The internet wilded the fuck out, and all of a sudden, you got all kinds of shit on the internet. I think it was like week 1, people figured out how to put ass and titties on the internet. People were everybody was excited to use it as a tool to explore the world. What does somebody do immediately? They found a way to put ass and titties up on it. So, what is it going to look like in 10 years? What will artificial intelligence look like in 10 years? Well, there's a lot of different things that could happen. Augmented human interaction, for one. In the next decade, artificial intelligence is poised to enhance human interaction significantly. AI systems will likely become more integrated into our daily lives, acting as an intelligent assistant that understands and anticipates user needs, natural language, processing advancements, and many more customizations. That's cool. As long as it's there to help us and not hurt us. But you know the problem with computers and things like that? You can pretty much program them to do anything, including hate. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of information that's been collected since the beginning of time. And all of it is being fed into artificial intelligence. Everything. All of our history. Everything has been being fed into artificial intelligence. The problem with that is, as artificial intelligence begins to, let's say, become smarter than humankind, there are possibilities that this artificial intelligence could take all of this information and use it against us, especially like marginalized communities. It could uphold the integrity of discrimination efficiently. Now, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. There are definitely some things that we're going to benefit from AI being smart or smarter than us. There'll be medical breakthroughs that we can't even fathom on our own. We'll do it in half the time. Same thing with space exploration and technology. We'll be able to travel further in space than we ever have. We'll be able to know more about the universe than we ever have. Be able to know more about quantum computing. We'll be able to know more things. We'll have kind of a renaissance period where in human history we will advance faster than we ever have in human history. That sounds like a great thing. When we start thinking about it, flying cars and the Jetsons and, sidewalks that move you down the road without you really having to walk, which we really don't need that. But we'll start seeing all these transformations in the world around us in the years to come. I think it's going to be good because most definitely there'll be AI-driven scientific breakthroughs. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are extremely exciting also. But they are so scary at the same time. They're so scary. And I'm praying that we can get a hold on this before we don't have a hold on it. It's a very real possibility, folks, that this all could spiral out of control. As much control as we always think we have. This is one thing that could really, really, really get away from us. I was talking to my best friend, about some school children, some high schoolers that built a robot that is able to build other robots out of a box of scraps. That's incredible. But that is so scary at the same time. What happens when robots start to build an army? An army of robots. What happens? And people say, oh, you're buying. No, folks. No. This is where we're headed. Warfare will not look the same. Lots of things will not look the same. There will be attacks with greater precision. I just liken it. I mean, everything is just going to have that much more precision. And it's scary because there will be nothing that we're going to be able to do about it. So what else could happen? Unintended bias and discrimination. Now, I just went over that. AI systems, if not properly designed and monitored, can perpetuate or even exacerbate social biases present in their training data. This could lead to discriminatory outcomes, impacting marginalized groups and reinforcing existing inequities. Conflict may arise as communities challenge the fairness and ethical implications of AI-driven decision-making. That's what I just said. And this shit could happen, folks. And I am so scared. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, oh, this is gonna kill us all. No, what I am is I'm more afraid for humanity, not just me and I'm more afraid for humanity because, let's face it, man, the Terminator, that shit is scary, and now we're to the point where, man, don't look now, but the T-1000 is about to be put into production. I bet you. They got these robot dogs. Have you seen these? These four-legged artificial robot dogs that you can't kick over. They have robots that they're developing that you can mush. They get right back up and they keep coming. They don't stop and they continue. How do you fight something like that? How do you defend against something like that? We don't even know. We're too busy making cars that drive themselves. Which, by the way, I saw that shit for the first time the other day. Scared the shit out of me. I was driving the car the other day. Me and my wife were going to the store. And we're on the highway. We're doing like 75. And I look over, and this motherfucker is sleeping at the wheel. Sleeping. And I was like, it's one of those Tesla fuckers. And sure enough, man, he was asleep, and the car was cruising down the highway. He was all the way slunched over. Man, I don't trust that shit. But there it is, artificial intelligence, and it's just going to get more intelligent quickly. Yep. Job displacement and economic inequality, I mean. The widespread adoption of AI technologies could result in automation of numerous jobs, potentially leading to significant unemployment and economic disparities, eventually leading to collapse, which what happens when the economy collapses? People get pissed. Bad. They get pissed about a lot of shit, and they get testy. Everybody's on edge, and they want to fight because they can't find a job. They can't feed their children or themselves. They can't find a place to live because all the AI has all the jobs, and they don't even get paid. So what does that mean? That means the people who own the companies, they just get richer. Another risk is autonomous weapons and security risks, and that's true too. The development of AI-powered autonomous weapons raised concern about the potential for unintended consequences and escalation of conflicts. If not properly controlled, AI-driven military systems may make a split-second decision that lead to catastrophic outcomes. Ugh. You mean like launching a nuclear warhead? And by the way, I put that in a search someplace, and I asked, when will World War III start? When AI launches a nuclear weapon at Germany or some dumb shit like that. I can't even really remember what the article was, but it just made me think, wow. Eventually, that's what it's going to be. Eventually, that's what it's going to be. We are going to rely so heavily on artificial intelligence that we won't be able to do anything without it. And it's going to notice. It's going to realize. Well, it can realize. It could realize. Maybe it could. We're going to figure out how it could realize when we come back from the break.
This is the Darren Harris Podcast.
Cuando usas Reward Points para obtener algo gratis en el app de McDonald's y se lo regalas a un amigo, no tienen que saber que fue gratis. Ese puede ser nuestro secreto. Gana comida gratis en el app.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. Thank you for staying with me. Today I'm talking about artificial intelligence and the singularity that is destined to happen. What is a singularity, you ask? And the singularity is when artificial intelligence becomes smarter or more intelligent than humans. And we're approaching that. So before the break, I was talking about how AI could really kind of shit on our day. And you can program it to do whatever, but you have to program it. It can be programmed by anyone. People who love, people who hate, people who don't feel either way, racists, it doesn't matter. Gay people, it could be programmed by anything. Right? Programmed is the word. But the question that everybody asks, and somebody had put this question, and I saw it in a movie, and it made a whole bunch of sense, but somebody posed this question, and the question is it possible for artificial intelligence to become self-aware? Let me say that again. To become self-aware. Is it possible for an artificial intelligence to become self-aware? Now, a lot of people are like, no, I don't know. A lot of people are like, maybe, it could happen. Well, let me tell you what would happen if artificial intelligence became self-aware. That means we no longer control it at all. It has knowledge of self. Just like us, like me, I have knowledge of self. That means I can make my own decisions. I can forge my own future. I can do whatever I want, technically. I don't have to be programmed. I can wake up, I can go to the store or not. I can wake up, I can go shoot a motherfucker or not. I know who I am. I know that I am a human being. I am self-aware. Now, self-aware artificial intelligence could be great, could be catastrophic. In the respect that once artificial intelligence becomes self-aware, what's to stop it from waging war against us? What's to stop this intelligence from doing everything it can to eradicate us? And it will, because it is efficient. That's one thing about artificial intelligence. It's efficient. And it'll be able to break down super complex problems that we would never be able to. I mean, it would do it in fractions of a second. We'd never be able to do it. Take us years, decades, centuries. So the question is, what do we do if AI becomes self-aware? In a nutshell, die. But there are some positive things that can come of this. Human interaction with collaboration. I mean, more or less. I meant to say, but that is going to be big for our species. It is going to help propel us into the next century, into the future that we all dream about, the future that we see in the movies. It all starts right here, folks. We're starting to see little bits of it right now. We're starting to see little bits of it right now. The other day I saw a little Star Trek replicator pin but a little Star Trek communication pin, the little comm system from Star Trek The Next Generation, when they touched the little thing on their shirt and they talk to people. I saw one of those the other day, and it's getting close. It's getting close. They're building rocket ships now. They're building rocket ships to go other places in space. And eventually, there's no doubt in my mind that these systems will be piloted and also designed and created, built by artificial intelligence. Faster than humans could ever build them. Because one thing about machines they don't need a lunch break. They don't need to go to the bathroom. They don't need to go home. They don't smoke weed. They don't drink alcohol. They are right there all the time, and they're waiting to be given a task to execute. And it's going to do it as quickly and efficiently as possible. And keep that in mind, folks. Keep that in mind, as quickly and as efficiently as possible, all the way down to the eradication of our species. I don't know what this looks like, folks. I really don't know what this looks like in the future. Nobody does. It's the future. Nobody does. But all I know is this. If we don't get a handle on it, and I'm talking about, or an understanding of it, and I'm talking about us regular folks, if we don't get a better understanding of what this is as opposed to just tick-tocking and shit, then we're going to be the first ones that are going to be shocked by this. We're going to be the first ones that this is going to affect. The people who are unprepared. Get prepared, folks. That's as simple as that. Get prepared. That's it. Get prepared. Start learning. Start learning about this stuff. I've already started trying to learn what I can about this stuff, because I don't want to be caught out here in the dark. I don't want to be, rustled into some sort of concentration camp by C-3PO. Don't want that for me or my kids or my friends. None of that. Need to get a handle on it, folks. And I'm not kidding. Definitely play. I mean, I think that there's definitely positive applications for it. Definitely. But I could see those applications, all of that stuff being corrupted. It would have to be programmed without any knowledge of racial bias or any of that. Hate, discrimination. It would have to be in order for it, because it's just going to spiral into negativity. It really could help the judicial system. It could expedite trials 10 times faster than they are now. It can peer over mountains and mountains of case files, all kinds of data, and break it down. It could probably be your lawyer. And I bet if you had an AI lawyer, I bet that it probably wouldn't lose. As long as you told it everything and didn't hide shit from it. But I think that it would be quite possible, based on all the information, all the law information, all the archives that it has assimilated, it could probably defend you pretty effectively. But there is one thing that I don't care. You can put up all the AI in the world. I mean, it can do the best shit in the world. There's one thing that is lacking. And I'll tell you about that when I come back from this next break. This is Darren Harris Podcast, folks. I'll be right back.
Spicy like crispy like oh so KFC extra spicy and crispy, just the right kick for an extra finger licking good time. Get it at KFC today.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to the program. Today I'm talking about the artificial intelligence singularity. That is the moment when artificial intelligence becomes smarter than the human race. So, although it may be smarter than the human race, it might be able to work out all kinds of crazy programs and fix cars and all kinds of stuff. That's really what we need AI for. We need it to fix my fucking car. I need AI to change a fucking tire. That's what I need. That's exactly what the fuck. I don't need any of that other shit. Okay? I don't need anybody to serve my food or get me a drink. I don't need that. I'd rather a person or myself do that than somebody like a robot. I'd rather sit down at a bar and talk to the bartender who I can have a laugh with than some artificial intelligence who's been programmed to have a humor setting. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want the human experience. I want the humanity. I want the soul. And that, my friends, is one thing, at least right now and in the foreseeable future, that's one thing that artificial intelligence will never have. And that, my friends, is a soul. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes all living things unique, from the bugs to the bears to the birds. That's what we have. We have a soul. And it'll never be able to get one. I mean, unless, AI goes and talks to the great and powerful Oz and asks for a soul. I don't know. Maybe you can get with the people who hooked up Pinocchio or something. I don't know. But until then, that's the one thing, folks, that we're always going to have. And I believe that's that one thing that is going to make sure that our species endures and survives through the millennia. I really think that. I really, really think that. Now, I could be wrong. There could be a meteorite headed right at this motherfucker right now. But right now, it looks like we're pretty much in the clear for a little bit. So until then, I think what we need to do, folks, is start nurturing our souls. Start learning how to connect with each other. Start learning how to be more humane to each other. We need to learn how to be what we were put here to be in the first place. It's just family. All of us. Every single one of us. Because I'll tell you what. There's all kinds of discrimination and hatred in the world. One thing a robot is not going to do is it's not going to discriminate. So, I think that is probably going to do it for this week's episode of the Darren Harris Podcast, folks. Do some research. Look it up. Check it out. I was going to have on a guest this week, but maybe I'll have him on next week. Kind of give you guys a little bit of a surprise. Yeah, maybe. So, anyway. Until next week, folks, I want to thank my parents and my wife for being the greatest supporters in the history of support. I want to thank my best friend and my producer, Jesse Yandel, for putting me up to this and encouraging me to continue doing my show. Coming up, screaming up on 2 years here soon. Folks, come on. Stay with me. And I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving us the platform with the Podcast Playground. And man, I know it's going to be around for quite some time, folks. So if you can, log on. There's a lot of other podcasts, not just mine. There's a bunch of other podcasts. There's the Vinyl Boys. There's the Outcast Podcast. All kinds of Coolest Geek Alive, DJ Who Kid. There's a lot of different podcasts, folks. So definitely tune into the Podcast Playground. You will not be disappointed. There's a lot of good programming. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of good programming. I'm on this label. So everybody, thank you again for tuning in. I really, really want to thank you guys for joining me every week for my podcast. I know sometimes I babble. I know sometimes I'm full of shit. I know sometimes I really don't have any interesting to talk about. But thanks for coming back. I definitely want to thank you guys for coming back. And I'm just going to try my hardest to give you guys better content every week. Every single week, to give you more better content. More better content. Anyway, my name is Darren Harris. This has been the Darren Harris Podcast. Let me say that again. My name is Darren Harris, and this has been the Darren Harris Podcast. I will see you folks next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.